Be good on both platforms. So let's get started. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for March 19th, 2019. Qs up just 0.08%, was up more initially on the gap, and the SPY has actually gone negative since the previous day's close. In the middle of the day, there was some concern that U.S. representatives were walking back some of the negotiations for the trade talk. So you can see that we did lose the uptrend from the morning, right? SPY actually went negative. Q's just about flat here. We have about 5 minutes left until the close, okay? So what does that change in the kind of bigger picture here? Okay, and it really doesn't change much. Okay, I think the most aggressive that we can be in looking for some kind of change in the dynamic here. Right now we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and maybe 9 in 5 minutes days where we at least made either a higher low, or we had a higher low or a higher high, or both. Right, so since this pullback, market's been rallying. Could we get another breakout failure that will result in a bit of a pullback? We could, right? So that's what we'll be watching for. But as far as the long-term bias doesn't change much. Now, the short-term bias, what we're going to be looking for, okay, is a break of yesterday's low. Okay, that'll put this as the breakout, and then the no follow-through will come if we, on the Qs, get below 177.59, and on the SPY, it's underneath this low here from a couple days ago, 280.30. Okay, so we're watching this hourly to break. Okay, if this hourly breaks, then we'll start to see a change on the daily. Okay, now I think what's occurring for a lot of people is they're looking for these opportunities to short. Okay, and then seeing that you don't get much follow through, and then having to cover or get run over. Hopefully not get run over. So like what we would expect is not that different than what we got here, right? We moved up, tried to go higher. That piece was left behind. The breakout didn't get follow through, right? What did we do? We based, and then we went higher again, right? Make a new high in the context of this trend, and then we pull back, and then we go higher. So I think what the most dangerous thing is, and here we had another example, right? Went higher, that got sold, right? Until it proved that again, it was another buying opportunity. So the most dangerous thing is to be kind of aggressively shorting these, looking for bigger targets, and then getting run over. But then the other risk then on these moves up is getting left behind, right? As we do this hourly grind, keep waiting for a good opportunity to get in when these pullbacks have been the chances to get in. So until it proves to us that the pullbacks are not buying opportunities, right? At the very least, you don't want to be aggressively shorting as we're just grinding higher. Okay, so we've seen what it will look like on these pullbacks, potential breakout failure, right? And how they've been able to recover. Now, even when the hourly got extended here, right? How did it repair? Through time. Moved up, kept moving up, and then put in this base, right? And then 20 MA caught up, and then we resume the uptrend. Okay, to where we are now. Okay, so going into tomorrow, gonna have to be bullish. Daily is still bullish. The hourly trend is not broken, but if we break underneath this base on the SPY and underneath yesterday's low on the Qs, then we can actually shift to a neutral bias, wait for the next hourly setup, and then you can actually start a bearish bias. Okay, now the reason I kind of bring that up, the risk of either constantly being wrong and the risk of missing out, is that what this achieves by identifying where the hourly trend breaks is so that even if you say, well, I don't want to get in and I don't want to buy, because what if this is the top, right? you may end up buying at the top, you may end up buying it and being wrong, but at least you know where your sign will be. Okay, we will have to get out of the long and maybe wait for the next entry, right? I think having the setup, having the pattern, knowing what you're looking for makes it so that, okay, being wrong is not the end of the world, and it's not a constant guessing game. Okay, well, what if, it bounces from here, or what if it bounces from here, right? We know where the support area. Could it be a shakeout? Could other things happen? Yeah, of course, but at least you have a plan, right? That's kind of, if there was any kind of, I think, overarching benefit to doing this market wrap, or for you viewing this market wrap every day, right? So that you go into tomorrow with some kind of plan, right? It should be in trading a series of if-then statements. If this happens, then this. Okay, well, if this happens, then this, right? Otherwise, just kind of doing it without any kind of plan as you see fit just makes for kind of random results, and consistency is that much harder, okay, when you're kind of making decisions randomly as well. Okay, so really, I think the market will be in focus tomorrow because FOMC at 2 o'clock. Okay, so we'll see as we get to FOMC what the market is doing, and then once the announcement comes out, will that change this bigger picture, or will we kind of just get some kind of neutral reaction, maybe an increase in volatility, and then just resume? That's just one less potential overhang out of the way. Okay, so going into tomorrow, I already checked the earnings list. There's not a lot. I think GIS is one of the bigger ones. And then there's like a few others that may set up. But yeah, probably some trading to be had in the morning, and then kind of take it easy into lunch, see if the FOMC gives us anything. But yeah, I expect that most of the good opportunities will come and go in the morning. And then just be aware that 2 o'clock, there's supposed to be a rate decision. Okay, and that will likely move the market. Okay, so from 2 to 2:15, you want to let that volatility kind of play out. Unless, it's your plan to trade that. I typically watch from the sidelines as far as the FOMC. I usually don't get involved or try to anticipate one way or the other. Just let it play out. Okay, so just be aware that is on the agenda for tomorrow. Okay, and then going into tomorrow, Qs and SPY. Excuse me, still bullish on the short term and the long term charts. And we'll see if that maybe shakes that loose tomorrow during the FOMC. But for now, support here on the SPY and support here on the Qs. If we break that, then we'll see what the follow through is on the break. And then the next either base breakdown or sell setup can be played short. All right, so we have that to look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully that'll bring us something interesting, as this grind up higher has been pretty boring just as far as the market goes. We've been bullish since this sell setup failed, so for a week now, and just watching the market follow through higher. Okay, hope you did well today. We'll see what the market brings us tomorrow. Should be a little bit more exciting. Some fireworks with the FOMC. All right, and I will talk to you then. All right, have a great evening.